Good morning, everyone. I know we all are so excited about Halloween, but today I'm going to talk about the retirement planning and the new laws that's happening right now that's encouraging businesses to provide care for their employees. I am Denise, and I am a career changer. I've been a nurse for how many years now? I've been in the industry for 17 years, but licensed for 16. And you may say, okay, what are you doing employee benefits? What I've realized as a nurse is that I've had many patients that I sat down with and care for. About 4 years in the hospital, and when you're taking care of a patient in the hospital, you are not thinking about their finances. Actually, they will ask me, oh, how much this is going to cost me? My answer is always, oh, I couldn't tell you, I don't know. And I will refer them to whomever needs to help them. But then 12 years, I start doing home health. Basically, you see everything. People you think, when you look at the resume, they have it all together until you enter their homes. But it never really clicked until my own family experienced that. Always speak with my father about his retirement. He was taken care of. He worked for the school industry. So he was okay until my mom had a stroke, and the little things he was doing on the side, little projects to help him financially, he couldn't have that anymore to carry the load. So what do we do now with a lot of employers not really encouraging retirement? That's not their goal. Their goal is get the business done. So what do? There are many laws, not only that the employers have to do it, but the House just passed a new law to help. California is one of the 10 states that's reenacting the law that you have to provide some kind of retirement planning for your employees. So one of the law that, well, it's not law yet, it's a bill that the House has put together, is to help many people that are finding themselves sliding back in poverty. Can you imagine you work all your life and you become 70, 80, and you actually now poor enough where you cannot take care of yourself? If you need to hire someone to come help with something because your health is failing and you can't help, that's very I don't know how to say it. It's embarrassing sometimes for many of my patients that I see in the field. So the Secure Act is one of the acts the House is putting together. It's called Setting Every Community Up for Retirement Enhancement. It's a long act. All they're doing really is to encourage the employer to help set up some of these retirement, encourage the employees to set it up. So how they're doing it? The employers are being incentivized to, with tax purposes, about $500 every year for any automatic enrollment. Basically, if they automatically set up all the employees, they will get that $500. So when you say, well, automatic, you're forcing people, no, they give the employees a leeway to change the amount that they can contribute, but they have that option to automatically set them up. And many people, when you don't really know they're saving that money and they're not really, it's coming out of the paycheck, they're not gonna say, well, oh, I can't have, But if they have to set it up themselves, they'll take the sweet time and not really pay attention to it, because many times what's the present thing that's pressing, that's what they're gonna pay attention to. So basically, they're just showing the employer the money by giving them the incentive itself. And the other thing that that act actually helped is increase actually take away the age for the IRA, as well as increase the age for the 401k minimum distribution. Basically, if you are a certain age and you don't take your money back, the penalties goes up, and basically all that money you save is going back to the government. Now, California is one of the 10 states that's actively putting that on. So this year is the year that it's a free-for-all. So every employer is actually setting up themselves, like testing the water, basically. So because 7.5 million of Californians are not covered. The employers is not required if you don't have a big business to set up a retirement plan for the employees. So and all of us can witness that. We see so many homeless on the street right now. Many of these people are either working sometimes. It's not because they didn't take care of themselves mentally or whatever. It's just the money they don't have. But so when you do have a retirement plan, it helps both the employer and the employee. So any company that have 5 or more employees have to set up a plan. But there's some leeway. This year, by the end of July, is the free-for-all, so everybody's testing it out. And then next year, if you have 100 or more employees, by June 30th, you will have to have something planned, and then following accordingly. So more than 50 employees, the 2021, and 2022, 5 or more. But say if you have part-timers, you have people that do not have, that's not consistent, seasonal employees, that's when the California Act will actually really help. Because what you have to do is just call California. They'll set them up with the Cal Saver. Then that's not something that the employer have to set up themselves. But they will encourage the employees to have a retirement plan. So with all these changes, you'll say, well, that's overwhelming. My business doesn't make enough to be giving to the employees in that sense. But that's when education comes. Because everybody have to take responsibility for their own self and kind of like have a little view in the future. Because a 401k should not be it all for someone. They need to be able to know there are a pile of money you need to set up. Your retirement planning should be for living, not taking care of sickness and everything. That's when you call Lillian to help you set up those critical care insurance and things that you have power with, you can pick on, but you can still have enough to live on as you retired. And knowing how much you really need for retirement is a big thing. Like I did a little calculation. I say, if I stay here in Walnut Creek with all my expenses, and hopefully I finish paying my student loans, but if I don't, and I still have to pay my student loan and everything, it'll cost me $3 million to live here when I'm retired. So, Denise Cadet, I am here to help support any of the businesses that need help. Thank you.